Are we sleeping this time?
Flooding.
Yep.
Check it twice. Put your room door, password ready for when it's
Yeah. I know.
I don't know. Say something smart. Should I say something?
What?
Something smart. Ah.
I'm not going here. Okay. Good evening, I'm Brother William, I'm the chairperson of the Brigid service. Thanks everyone for taking part in fighting the book of my service. Fighting the work happens every Sunday at our service. Your cooperation in building and maintaining this sacred space is greatly appreciated. I am doing this. You do this, Mom. You do this.
Divine Creator, thank you for overlighting our service this evening. As always, we come to you and we look for wisdom to guide us on our path. We know that you are with us always and are always ready to listen that you give us.
Please open to the first page of the book, and we will say together the universal reading. Because if you do, please ask the service workers to follow along the interactive readings.
I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source to you. Let us work together.
Please turn to the next page of the book that says principle of the spirit.
We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that direct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true unity. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change of death. We affirm that communication with the so-called narrative of fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever you would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness, as we obey or disobey nature, physical, and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter, affirm that the precepts of God's kingdom contained in all sacred texts allow my attributes to live in you.
Okay, public hearing.
So, we've come to Imbolc or Candlemas or Brigid
Day. There are a variety of names for this. The basic idea is that we're finally getting into the place where it's noticeable that the light is returning. And that's the key here. We have gone through the darkest part of the night, the longest night at Yule, and now it's actually noticeable.
Relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energy to this sacred sharing. We keep a wooden prayer request box in the foyer. You are welcome to send us requests for healing. Throughout the week, light workers focus their energies on the prayers that add to the sacred act. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Current announcements. Our business meeting will be next Sunday after service. Any other current announcements?
Next week is oil anointing.
Next one is oil anointing. So bring your oil and we'll anoint it. Thank you again for your donations. Reverend Karen will lead us in a prayer over the offering.
Divine Creator, thank you for allowing us so much abundance that we have it to share in whatever form that takes. Allow that abundance to grow. Let no one be found to be in want. So mote it be.
So will it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. The message workers that stand before you this evening actively develop their gifts so that they may be clear channels for this work. Please actively listen to each message as these come from universal source via our guides. Yeah, I was just going to thank you. Got it? Yeah. They may be tailored to the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Our first message bearer today will be me. Let us welcome me with the song Amazing Grace, all verses. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, shining as the sun. We've no less things to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Thank you very much. I'm William. Be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Ellen, Thundercloud, Mary Jane Petros. Thank you. Karen D. Karen, they're showing me that it's time to explore and get comfortable with the deep end of the pool. You've been making your way, from the very shallow, a little bit deeper, and now they're saying, come on, let's go out here. Sure. So the swimming pool will be, of course, like a safe place where you can practice navigating your emotions. We're not out in the ocean, there's no sharks or anything particularly dangerous. Your guides, your higher self, bringing you to the deep end of the pool where you can practice. What does that mean? Navigating my emotions or being comfortable in my emotions. Pretty much just that. Using your emotions. So one of the main features you'll notice is using your emotions effectively instead of being a victim of your feelings or being overwhelmed by your feelings. That's kind of the main crux of what we're at. Stefan. Okay, so I'm laughing because you're younger than me, but I can't remember how much younger. I don't know if you remember when people used to actually get catalogs. They're showing me the big fat like Sears catalog and JCPenney catalog, and they're showing how you have been perusing the catalog, but now you're plugged into the internet, where it's like just multiply times infinity. It's like more. The paper catalog's nothing compared to what you can get to now. So I'm looking at this in terms of, how we say in the law of attraction material, we talk about how I know it's kind of I'm just going to tell you what they're showing me. So there's this kind of understanding of the law of attraction and universal law, like the world is my menu. I can pick whatever I want, which can be debated. But the point is, you now have like the infinite menu. So good job on like upgrading your system. Veronica. Okay, this is funny because they started with, across the street from us in our physical building is actually a dentist office. And my attention's drawn out there and they're telling, it's like they're talking to you. Veronica, I know, like nobody likes the dentist. I mean, a lot of people are okay with it, but nobody says, gee, I can't wait to go to the dentist and have him, pry my jaw open and work on my mouth. How fun is that? Right? Okay. But what they're saying is we got to upgrade your chompers. Okay. Because you're going to take a big bite out of life. You're going to be, it's fun. You're going to want to digest this information coming in. So while you're sleeping, like the tooth fairy is going to come in and upgrade your intake ability. Okay. William E. Okay, it's like I'm you or I'm right there with you and we're making our way through the jungle, like the deep jungle where you got there's no trail or anything at this point. We're in completely like uncharted territory. But that's where the fun is. That's where the really cool stuff is off the map. So you may feel like you're in uncharted territory or someplace unfamiliar, and Spirit's going, yes, that's true, you are. So good job. Your spirit guides are there with you. Right. And William, you're like, well, show me the map. And Spirit's like, no. Kind of smart, kind of funny. It's kind of like the Fool card in tarot. Here's where you get to learn to trust us. Learn to trust us, right? So it does require of you some faith, some trust, and we won't lead you astray. Joyce. There's so many different animals with shells, like snail, turtle, tortoise, very slow, faster, upwards in speed, okay? And they're saying even the snail, to the crab skittering across the sand on the beach, rather quickly, the snail may seem very slow, but it's moving. So don't worry about comparing yourself to other beings that may seem relatively faster or slower for that matter, because we all have our days we're really on our game, days that we're not particularly on our game. But either way, they're saying that you're still moving. And that's to be applauded, keep going. Emily. So I can't remember how the song goes. There's a song called Starry, Starry Night. Okay, it's an old song. And right, yeah. I'm left-handed. You're doing it backwards to me. You have this bow and arrow, very Sagittarian of you. At night, shooting a shooting star. Got it. Okay. So the goal may seem way far away. It may seem impossible to most people. But they're saying, you don't know until you try, so pull that string back and let it fly. You will probably be very impressed with the results. Allison. Allison is showing me all these terracotta pots, like flower pots. And they're saying that, I don't know if it's literal, you are really eager to get your hands in that dirt and do some work, some groundwork. Oh, double meaning, okay? Groundwork, when there's a team project, some people got to do the groundwork. they gotta go inspect the land and see if we can build there. Like, okay, so is that idea of ground work was all like grounding work, okay? So yes, Spirit recognizes that that's important to you and you benefit from that very, very much. There are other things, there are things, you know, when the weather's like this, there are things you can do indoors, of course. You know, this is funny, not the least of which is sleeping. You know, they're saying that sometimes, you know, appreciate the season and hibernate a little bit. It's okay. Give yourself permission to rest. Rebecca? Oh boy, this is it's like a Wayback Machine today. Do you guys remember these paper things? You go like this, you fold paper, okay, and you like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. They have little things inside. So it was like a little game of chance, okay, more or less. What they're showing is have this little paper thing that where you get like 1 out of 8 answers, okay, to a huge wheel with like 64 different possibilities, okay? So you've opened up your available answers. You are getting rid of this elementary, okay, like grade school, getting rid of this elementary way of gaining an answer. Let's say it's like a divination tool, okay? So I ask Spirit for an answer of 1 out of 8 possible answers. Well, that's pretty limiting. Now I have 64. It was big, like, okay, and you're opening yourself to a lot more possible answers. Is that it? All right. Oh, all right. How about Reverend Karen? You know, the pros and cons of reading for people you know. And their guides, because the first thing was White Mountain, which, you know, I have a certain affinity for him. But it was like the snow here today in the White Mountain. Anyway, there's okay, here's where we're going to go with this. You've been driving for a while. You know, presumably since you're about 16, right? It's you appreciate the skill that you've developed practicing in all kinds of weather from Washington to St. Louis and in between, right? Well, give yourself a freaking pat on the back, okay? This has to do with I'm sorry, I should have said the framework we're in is the snow and ice. You know, it's like being able to plow, like, okay, so it's like when it comes to your emotions, sometimes you gotta just plow through it and figure out when you get to, like right now I can't see because I'm plowing through it. And then in a minute, I know from my experience, I'll be able to see fine and I'll understand what's going on. But there are times when you gotta just plow through it. There are times you can skate. You know, there are times when you can just carefully stay on the path that's worn through. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, so give yourself some credit for the experience and what you've learned. Okay. All right. Tom? There's a name for them. Those great big drums they have in the Japanese festival, and they pound them with big, huge drums. Okay. Thank you. So there's the sumo wrestling going over here off to the side. There's the drummers, the big drums. And there's also ballerinas. And what they're saying is, what are you saying? That's pretty funny. You are seeing, or I'm saying the word seeing, but it's like perceiving. Okay, you are seeing the way these things go together in a non-traditional way. Okay, like tradition says sumo wrestling, Japanese drumming, and or Tai Chi or whatever. Okay. But you also see how ballet fits in. It reminds me also, as I'm saying this, of like a medley or a mashup of like, oh, I see how these songs fit together that other people didn't really, I hear how these songs fit together another way, like a way that other people didn't imagine, and so on and so forth. And so they're saying, yeah, take advantage of that ability. Use it. Okay. Nick, would you like a message? Nick. There's a saying, I don't know if anybody says this anymore. People say, well, take that and sew a button on it. Like, that's just the way it's going to be. Okay? You're like, well, how come we have to walk to school? Or it's not a very good example. But people would say, well, take that and sew a button on it. I don't know how it became a saying. Meant basically, that's just the way it is, so accept it. Okay? So there is a greater understanding and practice of acceptance on your part. And then there's also the idea of a button being a fastener. Okay? So you are, right, sure. The more you are able to accept, the more you can fit things together. So good. All right, Lois?
Yes.
I don't know. There is a Santa Claus, and there's this long scarf wrapped around his neck, and you're taking it and zipping it and spinning it like a top. Right, of course. And sure. So this is your gift to the world. You now being in Santa Claus's place, like your gift of being able to make fun out of anything. And Spirit says, why not? Why not be that and do that? Where am I? Susan? Okay. Do you remember that show, The Bionic Man? Okay, and they had this they had a long intro of him being like a test pilot, and he crashes, and we can rebuild it stronger, faster, stronger, blah blah. Okay, so you're actually getting the bionic parts installed, and you're like, well, you're taking freaking long enough. Like, well, excuse me, you know. Okay, so yeah, it's a complicated procedure. So patience, please. That's basically what they're saying. You are getting huge upgrades, and I'm sorry, it's keeping you in the unit in the hospital for a while, but it'll be worth it. Okay? Oh, really? Okay. Tammy? You know, there's lots of old sayings like where you hang your hat is home. They're showing me this little boat dock, just a modest little boat dock, not like a big marina or anything. They're saying wherever you dock your boat is home. So I'm going to ask, why a boat? Why that particular image? Well, you might look at circumstances, like here's where I feel comfortable, or here's where they accept me, here's where they let me dock. And there's value in that, of course. That's a human decision. But there's also where you choose to be. And that is the, I can't think of the saying, it just popped out of my head. That's the, oh geez. That's the, not exactly like a pivot point or fulcrum or balance to strike. Where I'm accepted, where I feel comfortable, and where I want to be. So instead of, that's the thing. It's like, instead of choosing one or the other, find a place that has all the criteria, and you'll be a lot happier. It's you see it as a dichotomy, like I have to have one or the other. Spirit says, why can't it be both? All right, Michael. Michael, Spirit shows you kneading bread dough and make a really nice loaf, maybe multiple loaves. It's braided, it looks wonderful. As you're making me hungry. I can smell it and everything. So I feel there's two things going on here. One is you have a relative in spirit who would have been doing this, like a grandma or somebody who would have been in the kitchen baking bread, etc., who is around, who's nearby you. But also, as an aspect of you, this is you, food that we take in our bodies, metaphysically is information we take into our minds, okay? So you are preparing information. You are taking the raw ingredients and putting them into a form that people can digest, okay? So that is a main, it's a weird way of saying it. That's a main function of you, like you're a machine. That's one of the main things you're good at, okay? You can take the raw ingredients and put it into a way people can digest, okay? So you're a teacher, whether by profession or just by being here, you're teaching all the time, helping people understand and digest. And the more deeply you accept that about yourself, the happier you'll be, basically. Cool? Yep. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between the worlds. All right. Bring this back to our regularly scheduled program. The meditation today is presented by Reverend Karen.
All right. So if everybody can find a comfortable position in such a way that that energy can move through you without any interruption. Go ahead and focus on your breathing. Allow that to become deep and even. As you do that, slowly breathing in and out, your body comes into that state of relaxation. And with your body in that state, your mind has an opportunity to look inside. See yourself on a path. The night is crisp and cold. You feel the snow crunch under your feet. You approach a small hut. This is a retreat that you go to when you wish to have some time to focus your thoughts. As you go inside, you see that there is already a fire going. You already had this fire prepared. It is that fire that is always within you. Simply showing itself in a way that you can more clearly perceive it. This is the fire of home. The fire of comfort. Where you can set aside your personal concerns simply relaxing. The nights have been dark and cold, but like this fire, the lengthening days are already in motion, bringing more light and more warmth to you each day that passes. In the winter, we often pull inside ourselves while things lay dormant, preparing for the spring that is to come. But even in the most dormant of times, that fire still burns within you. There are still things that can be done to prepare for the upcoming spring. you hear sounds outside the hut? So you step back outside and go towards the back. And the first thing you notice is a small greenhouse. As you step inside, you see that there are rows of trays with small amounts of dirt in them. Waiting for the right time for you to go in and start the plants. You have already chosen the seeds that you wish to cultivate. You will be using that greenhouse soon, but not quite yet. But you are ready when that time has come. But you still hear the noise. So you step out of the greenhouse and there you see a blacksmith shop. As you step inside, you see a woman there working on tools, making tools. She stops only for a moment to look at you. And you recognize her as Saint Brigid. She does not stop her work, but she speaks to you. Even though the ground is frozen, the nights are long and cold, you need not be idle. For there is much preparation that can be done while you wait for the light to fully return. And you look to see what she is working on, and she is working on the blade for a plow. She says, when the seeds have been started, do you not need to prepare the ground? And she begins to show you how to work the metal. How to make it bend to your will. how to form it into the shape you need, and then finally to quench it. She says, the outside is cold, but in here, it is always warm. You have a hothouse for your ideas, and you have a place to prepare to make those ideas manifest. Use this time wisely. So that when the spring comes, there's no frantic rush. You have used the fire inside you in all its forms. And you are ready for the spring. She hands you the plow blade and wishes you good luck. Says, I am here to call upon, to protect you. To keep things warm and keep the cold from putting out that fire inside you. Call on me if you need me. And with that, she disappears. You think to yourself, I have a lot of work to do. I had better get started. I have a place to contemplate, a place to build, and a place to nurture. I have everything I need. But for now, you feel your physical form call to you. And slowly you return to it, knowing that the hut and its adjoining greenhouse and smithy are there for you to return to at another time. You'll feel your form around you as you slip inside it. When you are ready, open your eyes.
prayer?
You bet. Divine Creator, as we move through the days towards the increasing